How you doing? It's Ja, also known as Blaze Hun. I'm here again for sex and other stuff. I believe if you have the tools and you came to work, then the job should get done. What do you do when your partner is just so opposite of good, getting like a bad job done, or it's just like so horrible? What you want to do is you want to tell them. You got to be willing to communicate. You got to be open to communicate. And it has to be in a way where it's cool. So it's taken in a way where the other person is just not like, what? Oh, no. You don't want the awkward moment when you tell the person that they're doing something wrong. Because if you say it wrong, it'll stop. No one will be in the mood anymore. Or it's just a turn off. So you have to ask in a way where the person is like, yeah, that sounds great. Let's try that. Let's do that. That's a great idea. Yeah, totally. If you're in a position and the person's position is wrong, what you do is you say, hey, why don't you put that leg over there? Yeah, like that. Why don't you move your hand right there? Yeah, back that up a little. Yeah, keep it right there. Yeah, that's good. No, don't do that. No, just stay right there. Just stay. Yeah, keep it like that. That also helps when you want to move somebody somewhere, but that also helps when someone is just not where they should be. And if you're too hesitant or you're not sure if you should say something, then just use your body and definitely like put whatever you want done. You go ahead and you direct that person to do it, and then you tell them how. Like if they're not doing it right, if they need to do a little different, like you tell them how they should go about doing it. You should be able to show them you're not being stimulated correctly. Then you'll just be like, why don't you do a little bit more of that? I like that. If you could just move yourself in the position, that'd be great. But sometimes, like, when you move, that person readjust themselves. Well, what you might have to do is you might have to hold that person, and then you adjust, and then they move, and then you're like, right there. If someone's doing something good, you gotta let them know they're doing something good, because if you don't, then they're gonna go do something else, and there's something else may not be as good as it's something good. So you gotta be like, yeah, right there. I'm not saying like the whole night, yeah. You want the person to know they're doing something good so they can continue to do something good. So yeah, you gotta be like, yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. Pat on the back is actually pretty awesome. I've gotten a few pats on the back. I've given a few pats on the back too. It's like a firm grab. You're just like, yeah. Moaning is cool. There's people moan, depending on what kind of sex you're having. Sometimes, depending on the activity, it's going to warrant a sound. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good sound. It's a reaction. That just might be the reaction. You're not getting pleasure out of it, but you can't help but to react to the act that's happening. You need to let the person know that they're doing well. So, if you can't do a pat on the back, maybe if you could grab someone and you like, that is it, mother. Don't you move. You hold it right there. Right there. You just want to make sure you're listening to what the person's saying. When someone says wait during sex, you really should wait. There's several different reasons I can think of why I would want someone to wait. Trust that person. Believe in it. I can tell you, I know when wait went bad. You might not be able to clean the mess up. You may have to be taken to an emergency room. You may not ever see that person again. Wait is definitely one of those words where you want to mind that. Wait. Okay, red light, green light. You just need to pay attention to what the person like. You do different things. Whatever it is that you do, however it is you do it, for every way, position, style of having sex, there are different ways to do it. Try them all at one time, slowly. You might reach something that's cool. You might come across something that the person is like, hated it, and then you move on to the next thing. You can't just dive in. I know what I'm doing. This is my thing. I'm going to be in charge. You could be thinking you're killing it. Next, person's face is like, you get that. It might not be what you think it is. Some people don't like to kiss, but how do you know if someone likes to kiss or not? You have to kiss. If you kiss somebody and they're just like moving their head around, don't kiss anymore. Maybe you can stick to the neck or the body parts. Some people don't like to be kissed at all. Some people like to be caressed. Some people don't. How do you know? You rub. You want to be sensual with it. When you rub, you want to grab a little bit, feel a little bit, smooth it out. Whether or not you want to do it again, you want that person to believe that they want to do it again. That's really what sex is about. My job is to make you think, believe, even feel that this is so good. This is it for you. You don't need anything else. You don't want anything else. Some people like to do rough things. I'm not gonna tell you to go slap everybody in various places or go start choking people, but you initiate a choke. You just go, you know, you're just like, you know, you're doing your thing, and you just start squeezing a little bit, getting it, squeezing, you know, you start tightening up a little bit. Somebody grabs it and holds it there, they like it. If they grab it and they're like trying to push you away and then you're like moving their hand like, you want this, maybe you shouldn't do the choking. As far as slapping goes, people like different things slap. Everybody thinks like the butt is the slapping point. Some people like other things slap. You just do a little tap. You're doing your thing, you're doing your thing, tap. Before you go psh, 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 you go crazy on it. You just want to make sure that the tap is cool. Tap, 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 tap. Wow, pow. How do you go about talking dirty to someone? You start off with small things. Some people don't like to talk at all. This is how you figure out if someone even likes to talk. You just say, feel good? Do you like that? You like this? If they're like, yeah. Yeah, they're not into talking during sex. Don't ask any more questions. If they are into it, you go ahead. You work it in there. I can't tell you what to say. Some people aren't into a lot of things. Some people don't know what they're into until you try it. Before you approach an area on someone's body or attempt to do something that you're not sure if they're into or not, you start off just by caressing, kissing, just a little rub before you get there. Then once you get it, you spend a little bit more time on it. You do a little bit more. You do a little more. You work your way into it. And then next thing you know, you're doing the thing that they said that they're not into. And they may be enjoying it or they may not be. And they really just may not be into it. Then you move on to something else. How do you go about getting someone to do something to you without you asking? You could just it might fight you. Get down there. Sometimes they're like, what about you? When somebody asks you, what about you? You take advantage of that. What about me? Like, that is what you want. Also, a lot of people, they don't really know, like, are you past the point where maybe you shouldn't have sex? If I'm already asleep, or if the person already asleep, sometimes people are like, you know, wake me up. Yeah, wake me up. Yeah. If that conversation wasn't had prior, then maybe you should just leave it alone because it could be good. It's not going to be great if somebody's already asleep. Like, they can wake up and they can get the job done. But you might want to watch that because you could have quite the night. If you're too much under the influence of a controlled substance or substances, whatever is your pleasure, you might want to be careful. It could be horrible, it could be good, or it could be very painful. And it's like a really thin line. Also, you could have a night where neither one of you remember what happened and you're trying to like piece stuff together. I've had those experiences where neither one of us remember what happened because it was just that much fun. Before we even started having sex, it was like, where did this come from? I'm so sore in this area. Are you sore in that area? Oh my gosh, did your so-and-so hurt? Because mine is throbbing. We don't even know what happened, who did what to each other. It's like the bedroom is a crime scene. It does get a bit crazy, and you might not want it to be too crazy. It's a thought. So if you're getting bad sex, you definitely want to let the person know. You don't want to wait till at the end of it because you could have had a great time. Every time should be a good time. It might not always be great. You could really have a rewarding experience. Don't you want a rewarding experience? Who wouldn't want a rewarding experience? Who are these people who don't want to feel good? That's when you were like, yeah, we did it. Yeah, you did it. You did something. What the hell did you do? We don't know. We don't have a term for that. So yeah, we did it. You don't want to just do it. You want to do it good. We did it good. Thank you for tuning into sex and other stuff. Take care. And I don't have to say a thing.